What's up, guys? During the unboxing, we started reading some of this, but I was running out of batteries, so we're gonna start this over. This is Kanak's journal. Kanak being this figure that just came out. So it says 4 days into the march, and it's the kind of quiet that makes my tusks ache. In the quiet, there's nothing to think about but your aches and your sins, and me, I'd rather think about the aches. Maybe everybody does in the end. Maybe that's why we keep sinning. I'm on my way to dig. Officially, I'm digging for buried secrets, but I expect I'll find bodies too. I'm not the first one Volark sent. She's a real piece of work, like a boiling bellflower. She'll draw you in with the voice of an angel and the smile of your own grandma, and then send you 4 days into the aching quiet to die with every other sucker in her miles-long game. So Volark seems to be sort of a jerk. Sudas like me were old hands at should have known better misadventures. One of these days, we'll both be dead, and we know it, but we do it anyway. Some days I can't even tell you why. But I feel bad for Blink, the little guy's new. He still believes he can make a difference in this war, as if the war isn't just a corpse of itself rolling over in its own grave to start the same rotting mess anew. There's nothing to be done. Soda and me, we didn't have to say it. I know it, and he knows it too. If any of us make it back, it's gotta be Blink. Damn the war and damn Volark for sending that kid. Her steam engines run on toil and churn out misery, and the rest of us just choke on it. So apparently Blink is a very, very young lawman. And here's their team in color. I do like that gun. I wish the flashlight did something. Blink, the young lawman, and Danishi. Alright, anyway. Let's see what else was in here. Now there's something on the back. Visions of Allies. So it says, the Valkyrie Revna accepts her acolyte's preferred scroll and reads it without once breaking her slow, thoughtful stride. Rockchot's notes are deliberate, concise. Their guards have failed. The scouts sent by Einar and Volark have surely glimpsed the doorway that leads to the citadel, and more will not be long behind them. So yeah, Revna and Vidar are already in there. At least Revna, we know. According to this. And we know Mal likes to dig holes and whatnot. Alrighty. Sconces light the narrow passageway with blue fire that flickers as she passes, dancing along with the gleam in her eyes at the message's content. The parchment sparks as her attention passes over it, withering, curling, burning, and congealing into a pile of ash in her pale hand. She rolls her fingers thoughtfully, still walking, and the ash shudders. The flecks move, and the and rearrange as she sifts ink from plant matter. When she reaches a door at the end of the corridor, she finally stops, turns, and prefers the undead plant she has just formed from those ashes to her acolyte. So she brought a plant back, I think. My acolyte, you follow me in death and in life. You have done well to bring me my steward's report. They require no answer. You may go. The acolyte, trembling from the ecstasy of Revna's attention, accepts the wriggling seedling and scurries away down the hall. Revna watches thoughtfully until they are entirely out of sight before humming once to herself and opening the door. Her acolytes really just are infatuated with her. Kyrian, she announces calmly to the chaotic chamber, we will be having guests soon. Metal wings unfurl with eerie silence as the blue-skinned Kyrie looks up from her glowing electronic table to her fellow Queen of Anund. What? No, that cannot be permitted. What we've found here, I've barely scratched the surface of its possible implications. The others will not be so cautious if they smell power. They might ruin whatever Vidar was seeking to accomplish. Yeah, nobody knows what Vidar was trying to really do. The Lady of the Dead glides on smooth steps across the chamber, observing the various experiments and machines with a critical eye. The Clockwork Combine has sent scouts. They will be stopped, of course, but our options are limited. They can disappear or be permitted to escape. Either will bring Valaric's full attention in short order. That's true. Queen Kyrian sits back from her monitor, strong hands pressed against her temples. Revna waits patiently. She has learned her companion's mannerisms over time. Sure enough, Kyrian's contemplation turns suddenly to grim determination, and she leans forward to steeple her fingers as she speaks. So it is to be another chapter of this damnable war. Fine, let them come. Revna's mouth splits into a ghastly smile. She prefers a hand to guide Queen Kyrian to her feet. Offers? Anyway. Continue your work, my friend. Our forces will be ready for what comes next. So the alliance has just started, and Revna and Vidar are basically enemies with Volaric and Einar, which makes sense because Einar and Vidar are opposites. And they were in the caves first, but that other alliance kind of thrives on money and supplies and trying to gather and have everything. All right, let's see if there is anything in the rule books. These are from the battle box, so that's the scenario book. This is the rule book. Introductions. Let's see. I think we read this one before. But it talks about the alliances in here. So if you didn't know, new alliances between Noble Jandar. I guess he's noble, like Nobleman Nick. That's cool. If we ever get a figure of him, maybe it'll be noble. And Ugar's disparate forces. Clockwork Combine between Industrious Volaric and Imperial Einar. Umbral Covenant between the outcast Revna and secretive Vidar. And the Verdant Pact, the good guys, between the wise Aquila and the mine own Ular, he says, because this is Solomon saying it. Okay. I don't know if there's anything in here, but for lore, SIF4X has one eye, so he has one dot. Kinda neat. Well, I guess that was about it. So here's all the credits. Yeah, Zach, Garrett, Alex, Buddy, Petra, Ben, Daniel, William, Cheris, Adam, Derek, Aaron, Jenna, Silas, Troston, Jason, Robin, Keller, Samuel, Mark, another Alex, Sam, Brian, Mike, Raven, me, Rich, Paul, Kurt, William again, Ken, Cody, and Titus. And obviously the obvious ones. The actual Renegade staff. Alrighty. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little bit of lore from the scenario book that I don't think we've seen yet. Look at that cool fungus there. That'd be neat to have some more fungus terrain. Alrighty, well, I guess I'll see you guys in the Saturday battle.